When you hear the words Italian Mafia, everyone imagines the exact same thing. The clean-shaven face, the fedora, the long coat, and the Thompson submachine gun. That image isn't accidental. It is the product of the American cultural industry, or to put it more bluntly, cultural imperialism. They have effectively colonized our subconscious. Because of this, every organized crime group is now labeled Mafia. It has become a generic trademark. Just like how some people call all tissues Kleenex, the word Mafia has become the brand name for the entire industry of crime. And Al Capone. He is the mascot. He is the advertising face of that shared hallucination in our minds. But the reality? It's nothing but an image. We think of them as these cigar-chomping maniacs spraying bullets, but that's just the packaging. It's a flashy wrapper with nothing inside. Here is the irony. Tony Soprano, a character who never actually lived. A complete fiction is 1,000 times more real than the Al Capone caricature. With Tony, there are no boundaries. Usually, high-profile villains are painted as untouchable. Writers hide their fears and weaknesses to protect their aura of power. They want to elevate them in our minds. But The Sopranos doesn't play by those rules. We see Tony Soprano, the boss of New Jersey, cowering behind a chair because his wife is furious at him. Then, moments later, he walks away, hands in his pockets, as if nothing happened. We get inside this madman's head. We descend into his subconscious. What is he thinking? How does he interpret his life? Tony views the world through a deterministic lens. He believes that making a choice is actually an illusion. To him, whatever you do in life is just the inevitable result of your past. You can't change it. You don't live the consequences of your choices. You live the consequences of your conditions. Therefore, what makes you you isn't what you chose, but what you couldn't choose. This mentality is common among people in the underworld because it allows them to rationalize terrible actions. They convince themselves they had no other option. They often talk about the soldier mentality, tracing their hierarchy back to the Roman legions. But if you ask Tony, that romantic view is ancient history. The Golden Age is dead. The modern mafia is a corrupted mechanism where ideals are gone, and the only reality is money. For Tony, being a mob boss is just a job. He wakes up, drinks his coffee, goes to work, collects his percentages, settles disputes, and comes home to put food on the table. That's it. His collision with reality started in childhood. He watched his father chop off a debtor's finger, and later that same night, watched his mother chop meat for dinner. That was the moment he connected the violence to the food on his plate. That realization was so heavy, it made him pass out, triggering the panic attacks that would haunt him forever. Take the ducks in his pool, for instance. When they flew away, Tony collapsed. His therapist, Dr. Melfi, breaks it down perfectly. The ducks represent his family. Their departure triggers his deep-seated fear of abandonment. This fear stems from his mother, a narcissist, who never gave him approval. This left Tony feeling unworthy of love, constantly questioning his own existence and obsessing over the meaningless of life. According to philosophers like Sartre, the inevitability of death makes everything feel meaningless. The only way to cope is to take action, to do something. That's why Tony and his nephew rob a biker gang, just for the thrill of it, just to feel alive and forget about death for a moment. But death is always there. Tony stares at a painting of a rotting tree in an abandoned barn and sees his own mortality. It depresses him. Paradoxically, whenever he nearly dies, he snaps out of his depression and tries to be a better man. He tries to evolve. Hegel called this dialectics, two opposing forces merging to create something new. Tony is a contradiction, a compassionate father and a ruthless killer. He tries to merge these sides, but his world doesn't allow it. In the Mafia, mercy is seen as weakness. If he becomes good, he loses respect. So, he slides back. He refuses to change. We see this clearly when he kills his nephew, Christopher. He violates the primary law of dialectics, change. He refuses to change, so he seals his own fate. And that brings us to the final scene. The family dinner. The screen cuts to black. 10 seconds of silence. Then the credits roll. Many people were confused, but make no mistake, that black screen means Tony was killed. The scene is built on a specific visual pattern. A bell rings, we see Tony's face, then we see his point of view. Bell, Tony, POV bell, Tony, POV. Finally, his daughter enters. The bell rings, Tony looks up, and we see ... nothing. Blackness, we see black because Tony sees nothing. He is dead. As Bobby Bacalieri said earlier in the show, you probably don't even hear it when it happens. A bullet travels faster than sound. No bang, no pain, just lights out. Tony didn't even know he died. The killer was likely the guy in the members-only jacket who went to the bathroom, a direct homage to The Godfather. But if we look at the bigger picture, the show's creator is giving us a harsh message. Death is unexpected. It doesn't wait for a dramatic monologue, it just happens, and the show is over. So, maybe Tony was right about one thing. We shouldn't overthink it, we should focus on the now, because in the end, we're all just waiting for the screen to go black. Welcome to the family. This is Rodi Underworld.